Welcome to Media and Me. I'm Dr. Ray Gozzi Jr. I teach in the television radio program at Ithaca College in Ithaca, New York. And the title of this episode is Media Describe the World as Drama. Now, different media have different strengths. Print media describe the world in various ways, but particularly the fiction is able to get inside the minds of people and talk about inner thoughts and inner drives and so on. Electronic media, not so much. Electronic media focuses on what's happening outside the person and how people act and look and sound and so on. So the main thing that describes this, I think, is drama. Electric media like drama, and they tend to put everything into a dramatic format. I can recommend to you a wonderful book by Neil Postman called Amusing Ourselves to Death, which I think everyone would benefit from his discussion. So I'm talking about this because I think younger people particularly accept the framing of the world as drama that happens in electric media without really thinking about it and without really criticizing it. I'll give you an example of a way that we buy into this framework, and that's Facebook, where people, in describing their lives in Facebook, feel they have to be dramatic and have dramatic things that have happened to them. And of course, this emphasizes conflict. This emphasizes action. And a lot of our life, in fact, is not really dramatic. Life is one thing after another. And so sometimes it's hard to get a good Facebook posting because it just isn't dramatic enough. And it's interesting that people who have studied folks who do post on Facebook find a certain level of depression, that this is actually hard to do. So my message is that we need to be able to distance ourselves from the dramatic frameworks that electronic media impose. And it's all right to have a life that's not dramatic, mostly. I guess there's one other point I want to make about the electronic love of drama, and that is that there's a lot of important stuff that's happening that is not easily reportable in the dramatic format. So climate change was one of those things, and things like the changes in the level of water underground, aquifers, this sort of thing. This covers years and decades, and it doesn't lend itself to a nice dramatic news story on our evening news. But these things are important. Another example would be inflation in the economy, and the fact that the same amount of money buys less stuff. But as long as inflation is kept fairly in check, it's not dramatic enough. It doesn't really get discussed, but it's actually very important. And over the course of a decade, it has real effects on people. So I'm just saying that we need to try to distance ourselves from the framework of understanding everything in terms of drama and try and find other ways to interpret things. I'm done. Thank you for listening.